Scorpio, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What is good with you? Time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the fourth and final week of November 2025. So it's a weekly check-in. So it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you are in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information on how to go about doing that in the description box of this video. And speaking of which, the fourth week of November is the last week that you'll be able to take advantage of our Black Friday sale. It runs all November long. We do that every year. Most people use the Black Friday sale to take advantage of the price of the Zoom calls, because we do cut one big ass chunk of the price off the Zoom calls every November. And there's still a bunch of spots available, but I do have more sales than that, you know, and you can read up on all the sales I got going on my website. Link is in the description. Okay, let's see how the energy's looking. Let's go ahead and break out the fucking Christmas deck, man. What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love seeing all the different locations around the world where everybody's watching from. Let me know in the comments whether you're watching live or the playback. Let me know where you're coming from. All right, let's see what the energy's looking like. Scorpio, last week in November, how's it looking? Ooh, damn dog, Judgment. Oh, final decision is being made. I don't know what that could be. Let's see, here's one shuffle, two more. One and two. Man, it looks like you're making a decision to do something that's very hard to do. You know, yeah, this is not an easy decision. Some of you might actually end up in communication with this person. I think so. And for those of you who end up in communication, maybe whatever you talk about or whatever you hear or however that goes, that's all it takes for you to make a decision. And it looks like this is a hard decision to make. I mean, it's not telling me what that decision is, but I mean, we can put two and two together. Kind of feels to me like you're probably making a decision to just let go and move on from this. That's what 2 and 2 equals 4 to me. So, yeah. But see, here's the thing. Some of you may realize this, some of you may not. When you do make a decision like that, a decision that's hard to make, you level up. You level up. And there's going to be a lot of leveling up happening. And there's going to be a lot of repeating past cycles, too, for a lot of people. Because we're at that stage now where that's the stage that's being set. We're either going to evolve or repeat. And a lot of my audience, those of you that follow me, you resonate with my message, you understand what I'm putting out there. A lot of y'all are about to be leveling up. So I think you realize that too. You know, there's you. It's the death and rebirth process that you're going through right now. And you know that blessings are around the corner. This is kind of similar to what I just told Libra. Similar. Going to be happening to a lot of people. A lot of people. And I want to make sure that my audience is the biggest chunk of my audience. I want y'all to be the ones that level up. Let's see how the person you're dealing with feels about you. I know that was kind of a vague cliffhanger there. I don't really like that either, but let's see. The person Scorpio's dealing with. How do they feel about you? What's their energy and their intentions look like? Boop, boopy doo, doo, doo. Three of Pentacles. See, this is where you get stuck. This is where you get stuck in a cycle with somebody. They want to work on this. They just don't know how. Does that make sense? So, okay, I'll give you an example. You know how you hear people say, I want to work on us. You hear people say that sometimes? I want to work on us. Well, how do you do that? How do you work on us? Well, I'll give you a hint. You don't work on us. I don't work on us. The way we work on us is I work on me with you by my side. You work on you with me by your side. And I know that sounds so simple that it almost sounds stupid. A lot of you are probably going to let that go in one ear and out the other, and I don't blame you because it sounds so fucking cliche. But as simple as that sounds, you would be surprised how fucking hard it is to get two grown adults to cooperate with that simple concept. It is so goddamn hard. You know how when we were little kids, we thought grown-ups just knew every fucking thing? They were just the sacred holders of all knowledge. And then you grow up and you're like, man, the grown-ups are just as dumb as kids. We thought that we were going to be blessed with this special, oh, you're going to know everything once you reach a certain age. And the fucking grown-ups are just as goddamn dumb as the kids, man. So, like I said, I think this person wants to work on this, but they don't know how. And there's levels and layers to that, too. First, it's knowing how. Okay, let's use an analogy. Let's say you want to work on your health and fitness. Okay, you're out of shape, overweight. Okay, so the first step is knowing how to fix the problem. Okay, first I got to change my diet. Then I got to start getting active. Going to the gym, going on walks, going on hikes, jogging, something, you know. Okay, so now I know how. Okay, well, that ain't going to change nothing, is it? I got to start fucking doing it, don't I? And that's not even the end of it. Start doing it, and, you know, you might be motivated for a couple of days, and then you lose your motivation. Now, the next level is staying consistent until a change is made. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. In order for us to work on us, I got to work on me. You got to work on you. And I got to let you do you on your own terms. And I focus on me. And you let me do me on my own terms. And I got to start working on me and sticking with it. Working on those emotional triggers. Working on them bullshit beliefs that get in the way. Changing who I am. Changing how I think about things. Changing how I see things. Changing how I respond and react to things. Over and over and over and over and over. And every time I catch myself being triggered, I got to catch myself and stop myself and force myself to respond and react differently. That's hard, but I got to keep doing it over and over and over and over. And so do you. You got to be doing the same goddamn thing. We got to both be doing this shit together as a team. And we both got to keep doing it over and over and over. This person doesn't even know how to do that. Let alone do they have the discipline and the emotional maturity to actually do it and stick with it. And I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know. I think y'all probably pretty much got that message. And that's why I think a lot of you are making the decision to do something that is going to be a hurtful thing to do. A hurtful decision to make, you know. So, okay, let's get some advice. What advice do we have for Scorpio? Man, Ten of Pentacles been coming up for a lot of people here lately. Hang on. It means blessings are around the corner, by the way. Okay. So you know me. Oh, man, you got blessings waiting on you. Boy! You know me. I don't want it's not that I don't want to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. It's that won't help you. Right? When you're sitting in class taking a test and your friend tells you all the answers, that's not going to help you. Right? It's not going to help you. Even if you do that all the way through school and graduate with honors, eventually you're going to be out there somewhere and you're going to face something maybe in the workforce where you're going to need to know one of those answers to one of those problems that your friend just gave you. And you ain't going to know what the fuck to do. Eventually, you're going to be put in a situation where you're going to have to know what to do yourself. That's why I try not to just tell you what you should or shouldn't do. See what I'm saying? But I'll tell you this. You have two paths available to you. You're at a crossroads. They both suck. And those two paths are the path of change and the path of staying the same. They both suck. I'll tell you this much. The path of change is only going to suck for a little bit. The path of staying the same is going to suck for the rest of your life. So which sucky path do you want to take? That's an open-ended question. 100% up to you. No right or wrong answer. Some people prefer to stay in their comfort zone no matter how bad that sucks. I would rather take a sucky path that's comfortable than take a sucky path that's uncomfortable and filled with fear of the unknown. Okay? All right. Okie dokie. Do what you got to do. All right. Man, I'm going to tell you what, though. And this is so similar to what I told Libra. I'm thinking that the closer we get to the end of the year, we're going to start hearing this for a lot of the signs. That a whole lot of you got blessings waiting on you very soon in 2026. You're so close. So close. So, if you found any of that information helpful in any way whatsoever, do me a favor and hit that like button for me, please. It helps out my channel. All right, let's get some good vibes in the air. By the way, may I recommend some fucking incense that is absolutely amazing. If you're ever wondering what it smells like in my studio, it smells like a fucking pine tree in here. I love it, especially around the time of the holidays. And I'll tell you why, because I grew up with my grandparents. They raised me. They were the only parents I ever had. And I got taken away from my parents when I was 2 and raised by my grandparents. And so my upbringing was very old school in many ways. And one of the things that we did that I thought was normal my whole childhood was we would go cut down our own Christmas tree. So every year we would drive to a Christmas tree farm. My grandma and my sister would wait in the car. Me and my grandpa would walk, find the perfect tree, cut it down, and drag it back to the car, throw it on top of the car, and take it home. And the whole holiday season, I'm pretty sure it would be in around maybe November that we did this. The whole holiday season, the house reeked of pine tree. And I love it. I love that smell. You know, I'd walk out of my room in the morning and pow, get hit with the smell of fresh pine. I love that. So, anywho, I'm trailing off, ain't I? Okay. let's shift gears, man. Let's see how the energy's looking generally for the singles. Single Scorpios. What's coming in for the singles? Anything new coming in? Anything old coming in? Anything good coming in? Anything bad coming in? Anything coming in at all? Boop boopy doo hoo, boo doo boo. Six of Swords. Yeah, I'm thinking, well, there is still quite a bit of past energy attached to your tail there. Quite a bit. Now, again, we got 10 of Cups for you again. You got fucking blessings waiting on you right around the corner. But I am thinking that before this happens, you're going to cross paths with a few different people. And I'm thinking that here very soon, a lot of you are going to cross paths and connect with somebody who is going through something very similar to what you're going through. I hear this all the time. One of the Zoom calls I did today, this client told me the same thing. Said, it's just so crazy that, you know, I just met this person who's going through exactly what I'm going through. I said, that's not crazy at all. At all. Like vibration attracts like vibration, you know? That happens all the time. All the time. Now, as far as the potential and what would need to be done to utilize that potential, that's a different topic. But I think a lot of you are going to connect with somebody who's going through something very similar to what you're going through. And I don't know, I see you being careful, being very, very careful. You know, you're not just jumping in head first, willy-nilly, taking this very slow, making sure that you analyze the situation to make sure it's even worth your time. Yeah, doing the best you can to keep your head on straight. Swimming to the surface so you can pop your head above water and get some air so you can think clearly. And yeah, things are just looking like they're moving really slow as far as this goes. It's not really telling me, you are taking this so slow that it's not telling me anything about the direction that this is headed in. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. Some of y'all got a Pisces headed your way. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Knight of Cups reversed. Well, I don't think that they were expecting a love offer anytime soon. They definitely weren't out looking for it, so I think this is probably pretty unexpected for them. Yeah, they're a little bit afraid to get emotionally involved as well. Yup. Like I said, I think like vibration attracts like vibration. They feel pretty much the same way you do. They're in the middle of a big transition right now. Very similar to the transition you're going through. And they're a little bit reluctant to jump into something head first, willy-nilly. They're ready for a new start. They're ready to start new and start fresh. But they're not going to make the mistake of jumping in head first like they did probably in the past. It's probably what they did in the past. And for some of you, that's probably what you did in the past too, isn't it? And that's one of the first things that we do on our healing path is we try to do exactly the opposite of what we did last time, right? When you're going through that healing process, the first thing you start thinking is, I'm going to do everything exactly the opposite of the way I did it with this last person, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think this person has bad intentions, though. They do not. They're not trying to play games with you. They're not trying to manipulate you. You know, they may not be the greatest communicator in the world. So some of you may wonder if their intentions are solid. And they do have quite a bit of bitterness and animosity that they're pressing down, that they're trying to hold to themselves. But I don't think they have bad intentions. I would not say that at all. So, okay. I guess let's get the advice then. What is the advice? What's the advice? Boo-doo-doo. Two of Wands reversed. No, I don't really think there's a big, profound piece of advice that you need. Not really. I think you're handling this exactly the way you should. You know, keep them at an arm's distance and just monitor how it feels. Pay attention to how it feels. If it starts feeling weird, feeling funny, just step back. Don't do it. If things start feeling natural and really start flowing, and, you know, what you're looking for is a very natural, neutral feeling of transparency. Once you really start feeling just very natural with this person, like you've known them your whole life, that is when I would say, okay, if you want to let your guard down, let it down. But the most important thing is that the two of you are going to have to climb up out of this frequency and heal together in order to make it to a higher timeline, because both of you are still on the same timeline vibrationally that produced the manifestation of the ending of your last relationship. And by default, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It doesn't make you a good person or a bad person or a smart person or a dumb person. Just by default, since that's still the vibrational timeline that you're on, if you stay on that vibrational timeline, it's going to keep repeating that same, cycling the same experience. So, yeah, nothing wrong with keeping a person at an arm's distance. Let your intentions be clear. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Not jumping into anything head first right now. I'm focused on my healing, you know, yada, yada. And just pay attention to that energy. After about 3 weeks, when you're going into the 4th week, almost crossing into 1 month, if you're still not 100% sure where this is going, then you might want to be asking yourself, do I want to continue this? All right. Because it shouldn't take much longer than 3 weeks, a month max, before you start having an idea of where you want a connection to go. I'm not saying y'all supposed to be engaged to be married, you know, but as far as, are we going to take this to the next level? A month is a very, very reasonable period of time for a talking phase. You know, once it stretches past a month, ooh, you're getting into the danger zone. Once it goes beyond 2 months, I've never personally witnessed a connection that's more than 60 days old turn successful if there's still confusion after 60 days. Never seen it happen. I'm not closed off to it. You know, there's exceptions to everything. There's always firsts. There's things that happen very rarely all the time. But as far as what I've witnessed in my personal life and in the thousands and thousands of clients that I've worked with and read for, after 60 days, if there's confusion regarding feelings, intentions, loyalty, or where a connection is going, I've never seen it recover from that. So just keep an eye on that, okay? All right, y'all, I feel like those were the messages that my Scorpio family needed to hear. Again, if you was able to find any advice or information in this video helpful, hit that like button for me. And don't forget to check the description of the video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. All right, I'm out of here now, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.